Okay, so up next we got, is it Josiah? Cuffley Thorn, I think. The presentation on this portfolio is especially interesting. I really am intrigued by these thumbnails. Like committing to a circle and with the materials being spheres as well. Like this is really intriguing. Uh, Visually, it just looks if it's striking, right? Let me make sure I'm not missing something here. I'd like to get better at sci-fi. That's his comment on the portfolio. So this was 2 years ago. This was 2 months ago. I think I'm gonna skip this type of stuff because if you're really wanting to get into the sci-fi scene, we should be looking at stuff like this. So that is probably the most detailed barrel I've ever seen. Um, so when it comes to sci-fi, it's a lot about like how things are constructed or put together, and making sure that those type of details come across. I need my phone. Get out of my pocket. Come on. There you go. Yeah. Anyways, functionality and the way things are designed and put together is probably the cornerstone of sci-fi in my opinion. And then it's all about like clean, sleek surface definition met with like raw, dirty, rusty world interaction with those materials, right? Because when you think sci-fi, you think super clean, um, metallic surfaces, or really well put together, structurally strong shapes. And then when they land on planets or they're old or decrepit spaces, it's a mix of that combined with the dirts and the muds and grass kind of taking over. And this looks really good. I think you're being a little too shy on the roughness range. Right now it's all pretty soft. It's pretty diffused roughness, and then it doesn't ever really go into like any metal ranges. Like there's no metal on this as far as I can tell. But there's elements that I'm like, that should be metal, right? You know what I mean? This is cool. It's a wear GIF. But let's go into this one. So this one looked pretty sick when I saw it the first time. Dude, nice. Man, I want a fish tank. Love this material too. So right off the bat, I love the fact that there's some user interface stuff going on here where it's like unit 06. So I know where I'm at. I'm understanding there's some plants here. This has got to be hydroponics. There's a fish tank. There's this logo in the center that's super strong, like just that leaf. That's super cool. Is there fish down here too? Man, this is cool. That's interesting that you made the barrels white here. I guess it makes, like visually, it makes a little bit more sense. Good cable use. Okay, there's three there, three. Okay, so those plug into each other. Or those take in like water, I assume. So these must be like pressurized water. Um, yeah, this is cool. Oh, look at that. So again, I think that nice derp. Um, I think the only thing that's sticking out to me with this is again the cleanliness is going a little too far clean, but like where these barrels are at, that's probably a little too dirty. So it's about getting that balance inside of the material, probably through masks as well. Usually, you'll probably want to do that through roughness, just so that you get some variation, but it doesn't really overtake the surface color. So it's like things where like maybe where fingerprints show up, you can get some fingerprints and stuff on there. You can make a tileable fingerprints and smudge texture that goes over your roughness across everything, and then give it a mask that says where those fingerprints and scuffs happen, and then you can just paint where like people touch things and interact with stuff, and then it looks used without being like overly dirty and rusted out. Because it's still like, this is pretty clean, but I feel like there should be some dirtiness in here. You can see the fidelity on the ground is quite sharp. So making sure that that comes across in your other surfaces. Like you're seeing it here, but I'm missing a lot of these reflective metal type surfaces. Like there should be some strips of metal in here. So I think, honestly, I think your sci-fi stuff is hitting pretty well. You maybe need to hit a little bit harder on the smaller details of this. And I would suggest using what Star Citizen uses with the atlases of decals, and then placing those with different roughness variation and whatnot, and making sure that you're really kind of pushing the different types of materials that are put together in order to create these sci-fi like spaces. You have all of those, and I think you're going to be in a pretty good spot. Right now this feels pretty stylized, but like it feels good too. Just make sure, like, you see the interaction here. Just cut a hole in the ceiling so it looks like it goes into a space, right? Like they have designed a cut opening there, and then once they built this thing, they can just put it into place. I really like the lights here and the attention to detail of these bands. Maybe a little bit of soft darkness on the edges here is going to give you that feeling that it's been in use for a while, especially with this tank. It's kind of dirty. Oh, there's dirtiness here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and there's rough. Yeah. So I think it's the lack of metal then, maybe. Maybe that's what's feeling odd to me. I don't see any metal in here, but I know there's metal here. I love the glass stuff up here, though. Super cool. Yeah, these little guys here could be metal, like metal decals. You got some alien vibes in there? Run, hide, where do I hide? Where do I hide? You just imagine all the power goes out, and then like this logo would just blink like a big red light. Big red logo. And the alien's just getting closer and closer to you, trying to find you. And it's just pitch black except for when that light glows. Anywho, this looks really good, and I think you're on the right track. And it's just pushing those sci-fi shapes, making sure you get that metalness in. Like Pandora Starbox, that text, if that wasn't inset, I think this would look ace. Like, see how the metals are coming through? It's really good. Really, really good. I'd be curious to see how this thing turns on. And then, like, these elements, I feel like there needs to be more metal on them. Like, you're missing metals. Metals and rubbers, I think, is, like, what I'm looking for. And I don't see much of it. Though I will say this one has the most out of all of them. Beep, beep, beep. Nice. Nice, dude. Some military versions. I like it. Straight out of Matthew O'Halloran's book. He's like, yeah, I like to make mechs, but this mech's friendly. Unless this mech is being bought by a company that wants to kill people, then it's not friendly. So we just need to change the pattern. Yeah, consumer Navy Army. That's sick, man. But yeah, definitely push your metal surfaces. See, like, it looks more metal surface there. It's just not coming through here for some reason. Huh. Interesting. It might be the lighting presentation too, is just not helping the metal surfaces come out enough. Because, you know, like if the environment that it's reflecting is really dark, the metals just don't shine. Because metals are reflecting things, right? But I love your attention to detail when it comes to design mechanics and like how something works. And text on things, and you're just explaining things, which is good. I really like that. Anywho, gonna get out of here. Hopefully that was helpful, and I will see you guys next time. I'm on vacation now, so I love your faces. I'll see you later.